Well, hello there, girlfriend. Ingafay here. Super excited to be with you. I have another coaching girlfriend that I would love to share with you. Her name is Yaa Astar. We're going to talk about how to prioritize your self care. We can't wait to indulge you in this topic, and we'll see you on the other side. Hey, Yaa, how you doing, girl?
I'm well. How are you doing, girl?
Oh, I'm so good. I am so excited to have you here to talk about how to prioritize self care. Before we get started, girl, we want to get in your business. We want to know who you are, who you serve, and how you serve them.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And I am Yaa Astar. I am your weight loss and life coach. And I absolutely have the pleasure of serving women who are in their middle age, who have leading this really fabulous lifestyle. They're doing great in their business, in their careers. They're really crushing it. They're killing it. They have a great social life. But the one thing that is missing in their life is leading a healthier lifestyle. This is something that they could be proud of. So I absolutely just really love serving these women. And it's such a joy just to see them, become so resilient and come out on the other side.
So I'm curious, when you think of self care, what would be your definition of what self care is?
I'm so super glad that you've asked me about self care. And everyone definition is different. So my definition is definitely going to be different from the next person's definition. And for me, self-care comes in a variety of different ways in my life. Self-care for me comes in my rest. Self-care comes into me just essentially having time to myself, just getting away from the everyday noise and just having time for myself. And what that time looks like could be simply anything. Self-care for me can range from just simply taking a walk with my dog, or just even simply having a spa day, or even just going on a simple weekend vacation. It really depends on what I'm needing at that time in my life and in my journey as I am progressing into whatever goals that I'm working on.
Awesome. That is a great definition. So I'm curious, when it comes down to actually scheduling this, when should we do this and why should we do this?
Sure. When you should do it is not when you have a breakdown, not when, everything has hit the fan. You should schedule your self-care. And I would highly recommend scheduling at least once a week self-care. You
Okay.
can do it on the weekend, whatever day works best for you, either in the morning or evening, afternoons, on the weekends, what have you, but definitely schedule it at least once a week.
And then when it comes down to it, girl, why should we do it? What benefit are we going to gain from it?
Yeah, why not? That is really the question. Why not do it? I mean, why you should do it is because you're a mom, you're an aunt, maybe you're a grandmother, you're a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur, you're a C-suite executive, or maybe you're just simply someone who is just trying to, become their best and evolving in that status of becoming your next best self. And so it's so important. Why you should do it is because you have your future waiting for you. And because your future is waiting for you, your future also requires you to rest,
Right.
rejuvenate, and recover. And that's why it's so important why you should self-care, because you're a person that wears many hats. If you're
Right.
anything like my clients, they wear many of hats, from mom to, soccer moms, to what have you, to business people, entrepreneurs, all of that. You have life grabbing at you in so many different directions. You're a wife, all these different things that are required from you. So why not require time for yourself?
Right. Right. Now, do you have any success stories that you could share with us about one of your clients maybe coming out really super stressed as a result of, all the things you just talked about, and then after working with you had some kind of breakthrough or revelation?
Absolutely. I've had this one client where, sleep was her number one thing that
Mm,
was missing in her life. And
right.
so I remember before working with me, she was getting on average maybe at max best 4 hours of sleep. Now, mind you, she wasn't in her 20s. She wasn't even in her late 30s. she was in her mid 40s.
Wow.
And she was also in a very demanding job. Now,
Mm.
mind you, not only was she in a demanding job, but she also had a demanding social life. You know, she's what you would consider a socialite. But not only that, but then she's also, you know, getting her son, you know, prepared to graduate from school. Then not only that, she also has a daughter that lives long distance in New Jersey. So there are so many things that were pulling at her. She didn't even have time for herself, to the point where she was having anxiety attacks.
Wow.
So while we were going on this journey with me during our time together, we really focused on not necessarily her losing the weight. That was going to come. That was naturally going to come. But it was all about, okay, what are you doing for you? And for her, we focused on her getting rest. And what has been so amazing, even after our time together, she now sees that as her number one thing. She does that now, where she went from 4 hours of sleep to literally getting 8 hours of sleep, because she made it a priority. And that is the key, is your self-care needs to be a priority, or else, you know, one of the things we reflected on during our time together was, if you don't take care of yourself, you are not going to have the ability to take care of someone else.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So do you think the lack of rest had anything to do with her weight gain?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because your body is in constant fight or flight mode. Your body is in constant fight or flight mode. So because your body is not resting, it's not recovering, you're not giving your body the time that it needs to recover. So because of that, not only are you snacking late at night, you're also utilizing, you know, energy that should be used for resting, but you're utilizing it to working. And then your cortisol levels are up, because my goodness, if you're still up at night, your stress level is going to go up as well. And then you're not sleeping, and then there comes stress. So it's a compound effect of, you ask the question, well, I don't understand why I'm not losing weight. Well, I understand why, because you haven't given your body the time, the rest that it needs. And also, self-care is essentially important also for you to lose weight, because as soon as she started getting rest, not only her, but I've had previous clients as well, as soon as they start getting rest, all of a sudden the weight drops, because now you're giving your body time to recover.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, did she have any changes in her diet? Because I know a lot of times that has a lot to do with the weight gain as well.
Right. So with her, she was more of, so in two aspects with two of my clients. So with this young lady, we had to work on her eating more. Another young lady, we had to work on eating less, you know, those I deserve kind of meals.
Right.
You know, but with this young lady, we had to focus on her eating more, because also too, if you're not eating enough food for yourself, your body is essentially going to hold on to that food, and it's not going to let go until it feeds you until you eat again. So essentially, your body's holding on to it, because I'm not sure when she's going to give me food again. So I have to hold on to this. And so that's why it's so key and so important to eat regularly. Now, also be mindful of what you're eating as well. And then also too, as a woman in, you know, our middle age of life, we need to be careful of what we're eating. So we can't eat like how we were in our 20s. We also looked at her, you have to eat earlier. You cannot eat past essentially 6 p.m. because as your day goes on, your metabolism slows down. And then also, if you're not exercising on a regular basis, then that's even more of your metabolism slowing down. And don't get me started if you're in the stage of life of menopause. Forget about it. It's at a halt.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because I was just at an event a couple of days ago, and they were talking about that I guess you have that freshman 15, you got the menopause 15 too.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. So we talked about nutrition, we talked about rest, we talked about exercise. Is there anything else that comes to mind when it comes to your clients that you've helped them with and that actually relate to self-care?
Absolutely. One of the biggest things that I work with my clients on is their mindset, because it's really key for my ladies to believe that anything and everything is possible.
Right.
And so we have to dig down deep into the trenches of, what are things that are holding you back?
Mm-hmm.
And it's essentially the belief system.
Right.
And that's what I really work with my clients on, is what do they believe about themselves now? And what do they want to believe about themselves? They may believe that this is all that I am, but essentially there's so much more to you. And so really encouraging them to move past their limiting beliefs, because that's what I do. I do not believe in you can't, you shouldn't, any of that. But we look at strategically, how can we make this possible?
Right.
That is so key. And that also goes to your self-care. How can I make this possible for me? What is it that you want? What is it that you truly desire? Maybe the true desire is for your self-care to be somewhere in, another state, or maybe even another country. Let's talk about it. Okay. Let's talk about how we can make that possible. And so what we do is create little milestones to get you to your overall goal. And sometimes it's not about the physical weight loss, but also the mental weight loss. I've worked with a client where she may not have gotten as much as the weight gone from her body, but she was able to unload that mental weight. She was currently dealing with the loss of her mom, and her and I, we worked through that. Right. How can she still have that connection? How can she not feel the stress? So that's what we worked on, is still that. Another client, we worked on the emotional eating. What's going on with that? And so we discovered the reason why she was eating is because she felt alone. Well, now let's work on a strategic plan on you, not only getting fit, but also having companionship, creating a community around you. And because of that, she was able to start going to Planet Fitness and walking with a friend on the treadmill.
Okay.
So it's all about empowering you.
Right.
What can I do to help empower you so you can care for yourself even more?
Awesome. Yeah, so you basically covered everything. We talked about the rest, we talked about the exercise, what we're putting in our bodies, our mindset. Is there anything else that you would recommend that we think about or even encompass in our self-care plan?
Absolutely. Your community. That is key. Yes. Who you are surrounding yourself with.
Associations. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Who you are surrounding yourself with and who you are allowing into your circle. And so that matters so much more. Keeping that circle tight, because you don't want to share everything with everyone. And so you want to keep that circle nice and tight with only those who are supporting you, not just surrounding you. I heard that message from someone that I was listening to on YouTube, and he mentioned that being careful, identifying who's your supporter and who's surrounding you. And supporters are going to be there to help you elevate to the next level, while people who surround you, they'll help you maintain at the same level. And so it's really important who you surround yourself with. Really important how you talk to yourself. Right. Because that too will determine how your day goes. How do you speak to yourself? How do you allow others to speak to you? And then really important, I know we touched a little bit on exercise, but sometimes exercise does not have to be you going to the gym and having all this sweat drenching, from you doing the Stairmaster to spin. Sometimes that exercise can simply start off with a walk. Yep. And just walk and walk. So awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff, girl.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So I know that when we first talked, you told me you had a freebie. Can you share a little bit about your freebie with us? So when people want to engage with you, they can find out exactly what you're doing and how they can work with you?
Absolutely. I absolutely love this freebie. And it is phenomenal. And the reason why I say it's phenomenal, because I've had a group of people, a community where we just did where it was essentially a 7-day challenge. And this freebie is going to guide you. You can literally lose weight within a week. And I'm talking about up to 7 pounds. So the freebie is lose 7 pounds in 7 days. And in that freebie, it's going to outline to you for 7 days how to lose those 7 pounds and you just only essentially really only need two things, just motivation and consistency. Just having that motivation and that determination to be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to try this. It's only for 7 days. It's not going to hurt, and it doesn't require much of me. And so the freebie, you don't need a gym membership. You don't need all this gear that you feel like you need in order to lose weight. It's simply two simple things that you have to do in order to lose the weight. So I am really excited about this freebie. I've worked with people on this freebie, people who were somewhat challenged to be able to, walk, or a limited ability to physically move. So this can be done essentially by anyone.
Okay, awesome. Well, I got the freebie link here on the screen. So those of you that are interested in connecting with Yaa and participating in this 7-day challenge, you all will have access. Don't worry about writing it down. We're just going to put that in the description of the video, so you can just click the link. It'll be hyperlinked and you can go directly to the freebie. But I wanted to ask you, Yaa, I'm just curious. You said something about consistency, and consistency is key for everything. What is one of the ways that you help or encourage people to be consistent with their self-care plan?
Absolutely. So put it on the calendar. It don't count if you don't put it on the calendar. And so, everyone have different ways in how they keep up with their schedule. So consistency, making sure you put it on the calendar, and making that appointment with yourself. That is so key every single week. And also choose that day that you're going to do it. So say, for example, every Monday, I am going to get a facial. Every single Monday, you block that time off for 4 p.m. and I'm going to get that facial. Okay. But you have to commit to it. It's not just enough to put it on the calendar, but you really have to respect yourself and really prioritize, hey, this is what I'm going to do at 4:00. There's no changing it. I'm not going to adjust it. This is what I'm going to do for me every single week. Choosing the day, choosing the time, every single week that you're going to do something for yourself. And yes, I said every single week because you deserve self-care every single week. So my suggestion to you right now, as I'm talking to you, choose a day, choose a time, and choose a place that you're going to do this self-care. Day, time, and place. Only 3 things. That's it. Day, the time, and the place. Choose and keep that consistent. Make sure you're doing that every single week.
Awesome. Well, girl, I think that's a good way to share the love and really emphasize the importance of prioritizing that self-care. That was our topic of today. I thank all of you guys for watching. We appreciate your time and attention, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.
Absolutely.